Hey guys, this is Andrew post-edit. I've actually decided to put up some timestamps up on the screen for you guys. The Julian Edelman Hall of Fame discussion starts at 48 seconds. The Super League discussion starts at 10 minutes and 32 seconds. And then the EDP discussion starts at 19 minutes and 35 seconds. Enjoy.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the TDT podcast, not to be confused with TDT Talks, but
We're gonna have to explain that to them.
I don't get that reference, and they're not gonna get that reference.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
they'll just never understand.
they'll just never understand.
Yeah, but hey, TDT
Possible
Talks,
lawsuit.
shout out if you're watching this, my guy, or TD Talks, whatever your name is. Anyways, this is a multi-topic covering episode. We're gonna be just kind of breaking down some news that's happened recently. We might start making this a series like once a month, maybe towards the end of the month, just kind of going over what happened, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, like a basic
we'll just jump into it. Yeah, we'll just jump into it. So, if you haven't heard, my favorite player of all time, Julian Edelman, has retired. It's a very sad. I was so sad. I was like crying.
Yeah, this man texted me. He's like, I am bawling. This is the worst effing day of my life. I want to die. Not really. And then he put in parentheses, not really, but it's pretty freaking close. And then it was just, man, he was so upset. And now I will say, I love Julian Edelman as a player, bro. He's so inspirational. I don't like the Patriots at all, but him as a player, I don't mind. But, surrounding his retirement, I was sad too. But surrounding his entire retirement, the question has been raised: is he a Hall of Famer? And I mean, I think we know your opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't even have to get into my opinion. I'll just say one word, and it's yes. I won't explain why, because I think it explains itself. But yes, I do.
You're gonna have to explain, because I'm voting no.
Yeah, I knew you would. Okay, listen. Now, I'm not saying he's getting in first ballot or anything, and there's definitely more deserving people, but I think at some point he's gonna get in, and I think he should get in. Because I mean, let's be fair now. He is one of the best white receivers of all time. He's honestly one of the best receivers in the modern decade.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, he's second all time in postseason yards. And yeah, you can argue, oh, he's on the Patriots. Oh, he's Tom Brady. Oh, he wouldn't have done that with another team. And you might be right. But, okay, Peyton Manning might not have had as much success as he had if he had been drafted by the 49ers, for example. You can't really play that game, you know what I mean? They could say with for anyone. And I understand why there's a fair argument of why he shouldn't. There's definitely more deserving people. But I'm also very biased because he is my favorite player of all time, and I think he should get a Hall of Fame. He definitely has a very stacked many accolades that could push him, but the one that's missing is no Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But
which is kind of surprising, honestly, with the 3 Super Bowl wins that he has and a Super Bowl MVP.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mitch Trubisky has a Pro Bowl. But Mitch Trubisky doesn't have Super Bowl MVP and 3 Super Bowl championships and second in all-time post-receiving yards or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Dude, come on. I don't think it's all about the Pro Bowl. I'm sure there's Hall of Famers who haven't been to the Pro Bowl who are in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Edelman, I'm not saying his first ballot, but I think he's going to get in. I think he should get in at some point.
See, okay, here's my argument. And personally, let's get this out of the way. I think that Julian Edelman will eventually get in. I think that will eventually happen. I just don't think – I have a couple of points. Yes, he won 3 Super Bowls. Yes, he has a Super Bowl MVP. He has had multiple Hall of Fame moments. But Hall of Fame moments don't equate to Hall of Fame careers. And what I'm saying is, yes, he's never made the Pro Bowl, but let's be real here. The Pro Bowl isn't the highest reward that a NFL player could get. That's not really the main topic here. But Randy Moss is one of the greatest receivers of all time. Hall of Fame worthy, all that. So is Calvin Johnson. He got inducted last year.
Mm-hmm.
They both have no Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
So my point is you don't need to be a Super Bowl winning receiver to be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Julian Edelman has 3 rings. Great for him, But we've noticed a pattern with Julian Edelman over the years is that he really only shines in the playoffs. He's had some good season moments, but if you think Julian Edelman, you don't think of like some Odell catch that he made in a regular season game of his rookie career. You think of the catch that he's made only in the postseason. So I feel like while yes, those moments are spectacular, and I mean that catch against the Falcons was ridiculous and won them the game essentially, I don't think that he of himself as a receiver player-wise should be in the Hall of Fame just yet. I also don't think you should put Julian Edelman in the Hall of Fame before Hines Ward and Torrey Holt. I think that's ridiculous. Hines Ward and Torrey Holt are not in the Hall of Fame yet, and they are outstanding receivers with Super Bowls and all these famous accolades and very, very well-known receivers. And Julian Edelman I don't see him being put before those legends. I really don't. But, if you have a different opinion, we respect that. But I just don't think that with his stats, you can really put him ahead of some of the greatest receivers that have ever played. Just now, anyways. I'm not saying he won't ever get in. I'm just saying not right now. I think other players deserve to be in there before he does.
Yeah.
My final argument.
I mean, I understand there's more people to be in there, and I'm gonna have to again disagree with you on the only postseason like memorable stuff. But again, I am a Patriots fan, so I know
that's true. You follow them like literally every single week. So
well, yeah, I'm more like in tune with what happens with them, and like he's had some really good plays. I mean, he's definitely his peak of his career was definitely like 2-3 years ago for sure, 100%. But I mean, do you remember the game against the Seahawks he had this year? His like last really good game.
Yeah, before he got hurt.
He was so good. He had like a touchdown. He had like 200 something yards. He was insane. He made that one really good catch. I think he is a probably top 15 receiver of this decade from 2010 to 2020. I would say top 15. I want to go as far to say top 10, but I'd definitely say top 15. And all those top 10 guys, top 15 guys are most likely going to get in at some point.
Well, not only that, they're not even done with their career yet.
Facts, yeah. Like, if you're looking at the entire decade, I mean, actually, I don't know about that. Never mind. If you're looking at like the entire decade, I was gonna say Odell's probably in there, but he's
really that's a whole other debate.
He's on the edge. He's on the edge for sure. He's on the edge. But he had his glory days, and I think Edelman, I love him dearly, and it would just really hurt me if he never goes to the Hall of Fame. So
yeah. I mean, he does have great sentimental value to Carter, and he once was my favorite player in the league. But I think that with his stats right now, my base argument is not even that he shouldn't get in. It's just that I feel like there are so many great players who haven't made it in yet and have been retired for a very, very long time. I don't think that Julian Edelman should get in before they do. That's my point. But I mean, he is a great player, and his retirement was very sad. And the video that he posted announcing his retirement, it was very emotional. So, I mean, it was inspirational. And, unfortunately, he did have the steroids incident, but, it is.
Which, to be fair, okay, I can't go off on a rant, but he did tear his ACL. Okay, let's be fair now. People do it all the time to recover. Okay, listen. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, Carter, you can tell he has a whole lot he wants to say, but unfortunately we just don't have time for that big of a rant because he'll go on for like 15 minutes. But so he did have that one incident, and I mean, it's unfortunate that injuries plagued him for basically the end of his career. I really want to see more of him play because you don't really think of him as playing a ton. Like, he seems to always be hurt. And it's really sad to see any player do that, especially like Andrew Luck. Like, bro, he got hurt all the time. And when he retired in the middle of a game, the fans booed him out. Like, that's a little ridiculous,
Okay. He did retire in the literal middle of a game, though. Like, and Indianapolis was looking on the rise, and like, everyone's like, oh, hyped. Like, oh, but yeah, we got Andrew Luck. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. No, you don't have Andrew Luck.
And he retired really.
He's just going to decide, good.
I mean, it's unfortunate to see people plagued by injuries, but the fact that Julian Edelman could do all of what he did with injuries and stuff and other problems. I mean, it really, and not to mention he was raising a daughter throughout his basically entire career.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's tough. It was tough.
Still.
True, but I mean, he was raising her. So, it's just he truly is inspirational for people on and off the field. But Hall of Fame worthy? I don't know. I don't think so. We also have to consider, like, what if Tom Brady wasn't there? I mean, yes, he had Cam Newton for 1 week before he got hurt, but and
he had a great game.
But like, we haven't seen the rest of the season. So.
Well, because he was hurt. Like, that's why we haven't seen the rest of the season, because he's hurt. Anyways, we've ranted about Edelman enough. We both have our clear views. I think he should. Andrew thinks. I don't really know what Andrew thinks. Anyways, moving on. What is the next topic of all? Yes.
Okay, so I have this friend so here's our next topic, by the way. So I have this friend who plays soccer for my school. He's a huge soccer nerd. He knows all about the Premier League, Champions League, whatever. So what happened is the 12 best teams from the Premier League go into the Champions League, in which they compete against each other for the cup, right? So that's what that is. Now, what has been recently, so it's been proposed multiple times over the course of the last 20 years, but just recently they tried proposing it again, where basically the Champions League becomes what they call the Super League, and where they just play against each other each and every week. Now, what happens to the Premier League is that these teams, these super teams, the best teams like in the world, go off in their own tournament and they have their own little league. So now it takes the fun away from watching those teams dominate in the normal leagues. And so now, technically the new, all the new teams get a new chance to, be the top or whatever. But fans have been saying that it's going to take away the complete fun of soccer or football if you're from, European countries. But they say it's going to take away the fun and the authenticity of soccer. So I want your honest opinion on this, because Carter and I don't play soccer. We don't know a lot about this. We've just heard about it and we had to cover it because it's breaking news. But what are your opinions on this?
Well, as Andrew said, we know nothing about soccer, or, as they say in Europe, football or football. But yeah, we don't really know what we're talking about. So I've heard that basically if they remove, like, these are the top 10, 12, whatever, how many wealthiest soccer teams like in the world, right? And if they're like to remove them from their leagues, and like the rest of the soccer world basically will bankrupt, because those teams bring in so much money, like billions of dollars, just those teams. There are literally fans, like I know this for a fact because I watched Ted Lasso on Apple TV. It's a banger show. You should all watch it. It's hilarious. Anyways, like, bro, there's people literally willing to die for their soccer teams. That's how bad it is. Because say you're from, say Nashville, and we have a Nashville soccer team, right? Nashville Soccer Club. I mean, I would call myself a fan of them. I've been to a few of their games back when I used to live there. It's pretty sick. There's some pretty committed fans there, Now multiply that by 10 trillion, and that's what it's like in Europe for like European soccer. Like Manchester City, there are fans who would literally kill for their team. Take another person's life for their team. Like, what the fuck, like, you can't do this to the fans, It takes away everything they love. It removes a whole, like, it's such a huge change that it would just basically screw up everything. Nothing would ever be the same. It'd be like saying if the NFL added, like, I don't even know, if the NFL took, we'll put it in American context, if the NFL took the 5 wealthiest teams and made a league just of their own, what's going to happen to the other teams? It's like they're just going to be sitting there, and no one's going to want to watch that, right? I mean, people might. I don't know. It'll just create such a big gap between the monies and the whole like playing level that it would just ruin the sport.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And not only that, but like some of the teams are already dropping out of the idea anyways. I'm very sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but it's spelled like Chelsea. Chelsea and
Chelsea.
and Manchester City have already left. So, I mean, you've got this huge idea, and major teams are already leaving because they recognize that the fans absolutely hate it. Like the main reason why this idea is completely folding is because of the massive amount of hate that everybody is giving it. I can see why too. I would be mad too if I was, a dedicated fan to one of the major teams or another team in their division.
Yeah. Well, I think it's mainly fans of teams that are smaller, not the 10, 12 most wealthiest teams or whatever, because their teams, they're going to go in the gutter. No one's going to want to watch the crap team. Like, who wants to watch a game between the Jags and the Jets? That's like what it would be like all the time. Jags and Jets 24/7. That's someone's version of hell. Like, let's get that straight. Like, you don't want to watch that. Like, no one would watch it. You want to watch the exciting, interesting games. And it would completely, like I said earlier, it would bankrupt basically every other soccer team, league, or whatever, because those huge teams bring in so much revenue to the leagues. The NFL is not like non-for-profit. It is for profit. The NFL makes money off football. Like what if again, the NFL's 10 most wealthiest teams were just to go into a brand new league? The NFL most likely would collapse because those diehard fans would go back to that league. They would go watch their team in that league, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So all those other teams are just kind of left in the gutter to do nothing.
Yeah, and well, not only that, it's like the fans love upsets. Okay, like that's a huge thing. Now we know that the big teams like Manchester, they never get upsetted very often, but when they do, it's usually by the lower teams. If they were to split off into this league, they wouldn't be able to have the chance of quote unquote upsets anymore. The fans of smaller teams wouldn't feel the same pride in their team winning against other small teams as they would beating the ginormous teams, even though it only happens very, very often, and especially in tournaments, like upsets are a huge thing. NCAA basketball is March Madness. They call it March Madness for a reason. Same thing with the Premier and Champions League. Upsets happen all the time. You see it in ESPN and all this stuff. So
yeah,
you can't get those small teams don't have the same chance they do anymore with this new thing. And I think that's why fans hate it so much. But
So I just saw a fun Instagram post. Anyways, okay, so yeah, Super League, kind of whack. Our opinions: Super League, yes. Super League, no. I'm going with no. I think it's kind of dumb.
No, I think it's.
I think the vast majority of people disagree with the decision to make it, and I think the vast majority of teams disagree with the decision to make it because two of the wealthiest have already dropped out. Yeah. If I was the team, I would be like, nah, good, nah, bro.
Like
see ya.
Like if I don't y'all are leaving, I don't want to stay.
Dude, yeah, like, bro, okay, imagine being the worst team and the best teams. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how Signal Mountain feels. So, in Signal Mountain cross country and track, we often race against private schools like Baylor and Macaulay. If you don't know, Baylor and Macaulay are huge. They can essentially, give like educational scholarship money for people to go to their school. So basically, they can go to school free to go. Anyways, they're usually stacked. They have insane, runners and everything, and like there's really nothing we can do. We're a small private school. We're in the smallest division in the state of Tennessee. In that division, we are the best team in the state of Tennessee because we've won state 2 years in a row. But like we can't compete with the Baylor and Macaulay, and that's how it's going to be for that very small team, the smallest of the biggest. Yeah, we're the number one public school in the Chattanooga area, but like we can't compete with a Baylor and Macaulay. That's how the small team's going to feel when they have to compete against a Barcelona or a Jaquatis or what. I don't know what the team is. Whatever, you know what I mean? The one with Ronaldo, the Stripes. I know a little bit. I know like a smidge amount of.
Yeah. Well,
this Ronaldo.
I'm reading right
Messi?
now So SportsCenter tweeted out with Chelsea leaving, Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur will all begin the process of pulling out of the proposed Super League. So that's even more teams that are pulling out. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's folding so fast because nobody likes it.
Yeah, bro. And that one company invested like $4.8 billion in it. He's gonna get nothing. It's like JP. Anyways, moving on. One of our I wouldn't say idols anymore, but one of the
most well-known.
Yeah, previously most well-known, most respected people in the YouTube football community has lost everything, I would say. Like, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not even close.
It's you know, it ain't good, Chief. It ain't looking good for my man EDP 445 round.
Woo! It's showtime! Woo!
Or whatever. But EDP, yeah, man. He's if you don't know, he's been involved in some scandals. I'll let Andrew explain more because he's a bigger fan than I am. But
I'm not even a big fan. I just know more about this because I've been watching some YouTube videos because education, and so it's very, very, very disappointing. So he was involved. It wasn't even a scandal, bro. He was messaging very underage girls.
They're like 13
texts, and he's like, first of all, bro, he's like 500 pounds, and he's like, I want to say maybe 30 something in his 30s, and he's been DMing these girls, asking to meet up, sending inappropriate messages or whatever. He got caught red-handed. The girl did the smart decision, baited him out, and so she asked him to like come over or whatever. So as he was going over to the apartments, he was caught red-handed by these two dudes. You can go watch the video. I'll leave a link in the description, which I highly recommend you go do. And so he gets caught. They call the police on him or whatever. And it's really sad because he knows he messed up. He admitted to everything.
Yeah, but he didn't try to deny it. They're like, were you talking to an underage girl? He's like, yes.
Yep.
Were you aware of the text you're sending? Yes.
Yes.
You're aware that like you were committing crimes? He's like, yes. He's like, dude, like, bro,
like, save it for the
court. He didn't even try to hide it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the best policy. I think he knew he was screwed. Because I mean, he's kind of a smart guy. I knew his downfall was coming when he was like happy the dad got injured. Like, bro, what the fuck? God, you'd be happy this dude snapped his ankle and EDP's like, whoa! It's so you know the EDP clip? Like, there's so many memes about him. His older videos are amazing. He's so funny, but he's also a pedophile.
Now, exactly.
I mean, and how many other girls has he done this to? If this is the first one,
we don't even know. Like, that's the crazy thing.
We're only at the tip of the iceberg, folks.
But he is, like you said, he is screwed because they have screenshots printed out of the DMs, like messages. They have so much. I mean, and he admitted to it, bro. Like, he admitted to everything. Not only do they have evidence, they have admittance. He's literally screwed in court. And so, he's obviously going to jail. It's very sad.
Most likely, yeah.
Oh no, he's going to jail. Like, that's 100%. He's going to jail. And it's disappointing, but man, he deserves that. I cannot believe what he did. Like, that is just wow. It's unbelievably bad. I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's really sad. All the videos are like,
So the quote is from Night. Yes, and it's, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And
yeah, EDP lived long enough to see himself become the villain. Because, like, bro, this man he's down bad.
I mean, and there's so many memes and clips of him, bro. I mean, he is so well known in the Madden and football community. Like, you follow football, you know who EDP is. Huge Eagles fan, kind of, sort of. But I mean, there's so many clips, and now just I was watching some videos earlier of some old clips of his, and I'm looking at the comments because everybody likes to do that. If something major happens, they go back to old videos and comment who's here and when this happened. You know what I'm talking about? Well, there's some comments that are just like, none of these clips will ever hit the same again, and all that stuff. And I mean, it's cringy and cliche, but it's so true. Like, it's just a disgrace. And I mean, if you watch the video, he's sad. You can see it in his eye. He's sad. He doesn't try to get out of it. He's admitting to everything. It's like he knows he messed up. And I mean, we know his life has not been the greatest with how much with his weight problems and stuff like that. But it's just, it's really sad to see him go down that path, which we had never suspected. Like, we would have never thought that this guy would have done this until now. So,
Yeah, for sure. It's really sad, man.
Yeah. And I mean, RIP to EDP, but yeah, he'll be going to jail for a long time, and he deserves it, which is sad to say, but it is true.
Kind of a darker turn at the end of the episode.
Yeah, we hate to bring it down.
We felt like we had to cover it because he is kind of, I want to like an inspiration or like, because he's not, but like
definitely not.
We don't watch him that much. Definitely anymore. But he definitely did, like, he had just so many viral things out there that, like, if you were involved literally in the smidgest bit, like the Madden or NFL community at all, the YouTube side of things, especially if you were younger, you at least saw an EDP clip. So it just kind of like crazy, like it affected our world. Kind of, we're like, yo, what the frick, man? This dude be doing that?
He's
like,
doing
what?
that? What?
Hey, bro. Man, he got caught in like 12K, bro, too.
Yeah.
Like, this dude, they literally had him cameras. Like, are you aware you were texting these girls underage? Yes.
Yes.
Are you aware she was 13? Yes.
Yes.
It's like, bro, he's not even like, no, I did not know that. I mean, EDP, I hope you can like recover from this, man, but it's not looking good, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this episode. It's a bit different. Let us know if we should maybe like make this into a once-a-month series, kind of break down the news of the month, you know what I'm saying? The blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Anyways, sorry again for no upload Monday, but Andrew was like having seizures of allergies. Not really, he wasn't actually. But he was like, he wasn't feeling great. I also wasn't feeling too great. He was like, yo, what if we don't record it now? I was like, that sounds like a great idea, bro. Because like Friday night I had a cross country meet, and I was literally up till like 4 a.m. because we'd gone back at like 4 a.m. And then I was out in the yard all day, and I had allergies, and I was mowing. Sunday I was mowing. It was awful. I had allergies too. Don't think they're as bad as Andrew's, but I definitely had some also. We really weren't feeling it, so we appreciate your guys like understanding for that. But yeah, we'll try not to let that happen again soon. But
yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good, and follow us on Instagram at TDT Podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.